Dammers is here. Hello, Jerry.
Hiya.
You're looking very well, sir.
Oh, thanks. Well, I've actually just come out of hospital.
Have you? Oh, dear. What's wrong? Nothing too serious,
I had a kidney stone.
Oh, blimey. Painful?
It was very painful.
So here, get a bit closer to the mic.
Oh, right, okay.
That's all right. Now, it's a personal question. Can you whistle with your current embouchure?
I can gargle. I'm going to be doing a bit of that tomorrow night, actually. But, whistle, yeah, Robert, you told me on the... Well, I was listening on the way in, you said you can do ventriloquism.
I can!
All right, I will verify this to the listeners.
Okay. What shall I whistle? I don't know, let me think. No,
it's all true. It's very sad, but it's true. He's not moving his lips. It's really scary, actually. He's moving his eyes, but not his lips. His eyes are rolling around his head like a zombie, but he's not actually...
I used to be able to do that in class, right? Yeah. And the teachers wouldn't know who was whistling, because it involves no lip movement whatsoever. It's not easy.
That's not easy.
It's a very difficult... But you see, you wouldn't be able to do that, I don't think, Jerry, at the moment. Because it does involve your teeth, you see. No, you see, I can see, you're pursing, you're puckering.
That was really scary, listeners. You don't want to see Robert doing that ever. It's really...
What you do want to see, of course, is a 19-piece cosmic funk ensemble.
That's right, yeah, tomorrow night at the Barbican.
This is Jerry Dammers and the Spatial AKA. I spotted the pun there.
Yeah, the Spatials, as I call them. But I mean, yeah, it's a big jazz orchestra. There's a lot of great jazz musicians, but there's a lot more to it. There's funk and rock and hip-hop in there, so it's very accessible, you know. And
is it kind of Sun Ra inspired?
Yeah, well, it started off as a Sun Ra tribute band. The first gig we did was at the Roundhouse, and I got it together in about 3 weeks. It went down really well, so we've carried on. But it's developing beyond that. We do about half Sun Ra music and a lot of covers, but it's a covers band, you know. It's Larry Stabbins from Working Weeks.
He's a great player.
Yeah, he's great. And Dennis Baptiste, Jason Yard, Zoe Raman.
Wow,
on piano.
That's like a real kind of who's who of good British jazz players.
Yeah, it's kind of super group. Zoe provides the quality, I provide the quantity. I've got all these old synthesizers and broken down.
And are you enjoying being in a sort of with a band again?
Yeah, it's great. It's the you know, it's a lot of work getting the scores. I've never worked with sort of written music and everything, and I have to get all the scrolls together, and it's hard to coordinate them. So, because if you make a mistake, it all goes wrong, and the spaceship crashes to Earth. But hopefully, it'll stay in flight tomorrow.
Well, it's put a smile on your face, certainly. I can see that.
Yeah.
And are you still DJing? Because that's the other thing you were doing as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, this all came out of DJing originally. I mean, you used to go to those Paul Murphy nights.
Yeah, of course I did, yeah.
Ballroom and...
I mean, for those who don't know, Paul Murphy was a sort of jazz DJ, I guess, who played real hardcore out-there jazz while people danced, amazingly.
Brazilian, a lot of Brazilian.
Yeah, and Batucada and all that, yeah.
And we used to go to the Electric Ballroom, but I sort of acquired his record box. Actually, that's when I got into... He had this big metal blue record box that weighed a ton, and he gave it to me because it was too heavy, and I started getting into DJing, and we called it the Ark of the Covenant, because we used to kind of have all these...
Did he actually get his records as well?
No, not the records, but we used to keep all these really ultra obscure jazz records that we collected, you know, and it was kind of so this band actually comes from that era. What we're playing is a lot of the music that I collected at that time, which is the funkier side of Sun Ra. I mean, a lot of people think of Sun Ra as very avant-garde, but he actually had a funky African side, which is probably more accessible to a lot of people, which never got recognised at the time.
And that kind of, talking about music being accessible, difficult music accessible, that was very much what that kind of jazz scene did, wasn't it? It took music which in another context might be seen as really difficult and out there and hard, and yet when you see it and people dancing to it on a dance floor, you suddenly start to hear it differently, I think.
Yeah, I mean, those jazz dancers were great, because I mean they made a whole lifetime out of just dancing. They weren't getting paid for it, but that was just what they did. You know, the guys, some of them formed into IDJ and all that, but it was just like proper street dance where people go out every night just to dance, and that was it.
Do you still go out yourself much? Do you still get out?
Not for under 200 quid, no.
There's the perfect answer.
Like yourself, Robert, I'm sure. But
well, I don't. Do you know what?
You're a bit more expensive.
Well, probably, but only because I won't do it for love nor money. I probably would if the money were enough and the love were decent looking. But every now and then people ask me to play out in clubs, and it's the one thing I'm scared of doing. Because I was a club DJ when I was very young, and I was probably the worst DJ of all time. I mean, technically, I think I played some quite nice records, but my speciality was either taking off the record that was playing the wrong side at the wrong speed. I mean, I made every mistake known to mankind.
I used to do that, yeah. Well, but can we get back to whistling?
Well, we can get back to what you're doing.
Because I've got a great whistling record.
Have you? What's that?
The B-side of Night of Fear by The Move.
Oh, really? I've got that on a 7s.
It was The Disturbance, and it was the beginning of my problems. You've got to dig that one out. The Disturbance by The Move.
Do you know, I have got that at home on a 7-inch single.
Bevan Whistler. It's the great...
Bevan Whistle.
It's the best whistle in rock I can... Yeah.
My favourite whistle, and I didn't bring it in, I must admit, because I've only got it on a really scratched old 7, is Hey Leroy, your mama's calling you. I don't know, it starts off and goes... Hey Leroy, your mama, she's calling you, man. And then it goes into this...
Casterbutt.
Yeah, Jimmy Casterbutt, absolutely. And that's a cracking whistle.
Yeah.
But it was such a scratch 7 when I dug it out of the box, I thought I can't play that on the radio.
Bertha Boogie.
Yep, another one of his. But I don't think there's a whistle on that. We haven't mentioned the specials, and I don't know if you want to, but I mean, you know...
I want to, but I probably shouldn't.
No, then we won't. But,
but I should just say one thing that you did on your programme. You did say that they have my blessing.
And they don't,
apparently. It isn't really strictly true.
Quite the case. No, but what does it matter?
I want to invite them down to this gig tomorrow. If any of them are listening... Their names are on the door. So,
excellent.
You know, yeah.
And do you ever want to be in a pop band again? Do you fancy that or not? Not that one necessarily. But
well, this is a pop band.
Is it?
It's just a 21st century pop band. You know, it's like
a 21st century 19-piece pop band.
Yeah,
of course.
No, but it is pop. It's very accessible. It's like I say, it's my idea of what a pop band should be now. You know, if we'd all moved on, kind of thing.
Well, I think you have, haven't you? Clearly. Well, you're looking well. I hope the kidney stones get better.
Oh, God, don't talk to me. That's so painful, you know. So painful. Don't ever get one.
Oh, well, I wasn't looking forward to it. Have you got it in a jar?
No.
Because they give them to people sometimes. I've known people carry them around. I had 2 wisdom teeth out recently, and I was carrying them around. I wanted to add something to my box of curios, but if you haven't got a kidney stone, you can lend me. So,
no, I haven't, sorry.
So tomorrow night at the Barbican, it's the Barbican Hall, of course, which once you get there, you will get in. It might take a while, but just try to find your way around. Is it hard to get into the performers bit there?
Yeah, well, Spry normally gets lost. Spry, the percussion player, used to be with Galliano. Whenever we go on stage, he's lost somewhere, you know, he's putting his tea towel on his head or something, but he normally gets on about 5 minutes after the rest of us, yeah, so it is very hard to find your way around the Barbican, but...
So what time is it all kicking off tomorrow, providing that your percussionist finds his way onto the stage?
7:30.
And that's Jerry Dammer's Spatial AKA.
You can also see the place where Alex the Drew kicked...
is that there?
Is
that in the Barbican?
Where he kicked him into the water. I'm sure that's in the walk up to the Barbican.
You could be right.
Well, there's one.
A momentous place. There's a
poser for your listeners.
They'll tell us.
I'm sure you'll talk about it for years to come.
Well, that's what I do, Jerry, and it's been a pleasure to talk to you, mate.
All right, cheers. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.